Every piece of bad news your company has ever delivered to you was wrapped in language designed to make you accept it. The restructuring that eliminated your department was called a reallocation. The raise you waited 2 years for was deferred due to market conditions. Your objection in a meeting was noted, appreciated, and permanently ignored. These are not accidents. These are mechanics. Your company runs on applied psychology, not the kind in textbooks, the kind that has been folded into your daily experience so seamlessly that you stopped seeing it years ago. Every open floor plan, every all-hands meeting, every recognition program, every performance review structure, none of it was designed to help you. It was designed to shape you, predict you, and control your output with minimal resistance. In this video, we break down the 5 psychological tactics every workplace uses to keep you compliant, productive, and quiet. This is the same mechanism that keeps people at slot machines. The reward does not arrive on a predictable schedule, so you keep playing. In the workplace, the rewards are recognition, promotion, access, and praise. They arrive just often enough to keep you hoping, and just irregularly enough to keep you working harder than you would if they were guaranteed. 1 month, you get a shout-out in the all-hands meeting, then nothing for 6 months, then a bonus you did not see coming, then silence for another quarter. The pattern is designed. Predictable rewards produce predictable effort. Unpredictable rewards produce maximum effort. If your company told you exactly when you would be promoted, you would coast between promotions. But when the timeline is opaque, you run at full speed the entire time, just in case this is the quarter they notice. And here is what makes it dark. If the reward never comes, you will blame yourself first. You will say you did not work hard enough. You will not say the system was designed to extract maximum output for minimum reward. The slot machine does not need to pay out often. It just needs you to believe the next pull might be the one. Every year you stay at a company makes it harder to leave. Not because the job improves, because you have invested too much to walk away. You have invested years of tenure, relationships you built, institutional knowledge no one else has. The project that launches next quarter, you want your name on it. The bonus that vests in 18 months, the promotion cycle you are finally in the running for after 3 years of being overlooked. These are not just career milestones, they are psychological anchors. The more you have invested, the more leaving feels like a loss, even if staying is worse for you. Companies understand this deeply. This is why vesting schedules exist, why bonus payouts are staggered, why your retirement contributions are tied to a matching schedule that only fully materializes after year 5. Every one of these structures increases the perceived cost of departure. The result? You stay in roles you have outgrown, under managers who do not develop you, in cultures that drain you, because the sunk cost feels heavier than the future benefit of leaving. They do not need to trap you. They just need you to believe you have already invested too much to leave. The same information, presented 2 different ways, produces 2 different decisions. This is one of the most replicated findings in behavioral economics, and your company uses it every day. When leadership announces that only 10% of roles will be eliminated, they are not sharing bad news. They are framing survival as the story instead of loss. You hear 90% of people kept their jobs, not 10% lost them. The decision is identical. Your emotional response is not. This is also how your performance review works. The areas for improvement always come after the strengths, because starting with criticism makes you defensive. The sandwich structure, praise, criticism, praise, is not about accuracy. It is about compliance. It lowers your resistance so you accept the criticism without argument. Even the language of job postings is framing. A role that requires you to thrive in a fast-paced environment is a role that will overwork you. A company that calls itself a family is a company that will blur every boundary you set. The words protect the decision, not you. When your company announces that 80% of employees have already completed the new compliance training, they are not giving you an update. They are activating your instinct to conform. You were not going to be the one person who did not do it. That is the entire mechanism. Social proof is the psychological principle that people determine what is correct by observing what others are doing. In ambiguous situations, and workplaces are full of ambiguity, we look to the group for cues on how to behave. Companies exploit this constantly. This is why town halls feature employees asking pre-screened questions that support leadership narratives. This is why your manager references what leadership thinks before they reference what is actually true. The opinion of the group, especially the group above you, carries more weight than any individual fact. Your disagreement becomes not just wrong but socially costly, and most people will agree with a room before they will stand alone in it. This is also why whistleblowers are rare. It is not that people do not see problems. It is that speaking up means breaking with the group, and the group is the source of your paycheck, your reputation, and your future references. Disagreement is priced so high most people never afford it. Every time your idea was ignored in a meeting, you learned something. Every time a process made you wait 3 weeks for an approval that could have taken one day, you learned something. Every time speaking up produced no change, you learned something. You learned that your input does not move the system, so you stopped providing it. That is not burnout. That is a psychological state deliberately produced by an environment designed to make you feel powerless. The original experiments on learned helplessness involved dogs who received unavoidable electric shocks. Eventually, even when escape became possible, they stopped trying. They had learned that nothing they did mattered. Your workplace runs the same experiment. The approvals that go nowhere, the feedback surveys that produce no changes, the skipped one-on-ones, the ideas that get acknowledged and shelved. Each experience teaches the same lesson. Your effort does not change the outcome. The dark genius of it is that you will blame yourself. You will say you lost your motivation. You will say you are in a rut. You will not say the system was built to put you there. They made you feel powerless and then called it a motivation problem. Here is what connects all 5 tactics. They operate below conscious detection. You do not notice intermittent reward because you are busy working toward the next one. You do not notice framing because the language sounds reasonable. You do not notice learned helplessness because it accumulates so slowly you mistake it for your own failure. A company would never tell you it is manipulating you. That would defeat the purpose. The manipulation works precisely because it looks like normal corporate life. But once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. Every meeting format, every performance review structure, every recognition program, every office layout, every promotion process. All of it was designed before you arrived. All of it was designed with a specific behavioral outcome in mind, and none of that design was on your behalf. So, what do you do with this information? You start by recognizing that none of this is accidental. The intermittent rewards, the sunk cost anchoring, the framing language, the social proof pressure, the slow accumulation of helplessness. These are features of the system, not bugs, not your fault. The system is working exactly as it was designed to work. The difference now is that you can see it, and when you can see the mechanics, you can step outside them. You can recognize the reward pattern instead of chasing it. You can evaluate the framing instead of absorbing it. You can name the helplessness for what it is, a predictable response to a designed environment, and refuse to internalize it. When the next reward cycle dangles a promotion in front of you, ask what behavior they are trying to sustain. When the next announcement uses careful language to frame bad news, read it twice, once for what it says, once for what it is hiding. When you feel the weight of leaving, ask yourself whether you are anchored to something real or something that was built to hold you in place. Subscribe if this clicked. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 5 you have experienced the most. I read everyone, and the next time your company announces a new policy and calls it culture, ask yourself one question. What behavior are they really trying to change?